Hello, I'm Dr. Sam, this is Dr. Sam's Health, and today I'm going to answer some questions from my followers and viewers. A couple of days ago, a friend of mine, a colleague and a fellow YouTuber, Dr.Fox, the Lifting Dermatologist, asked me 3 questions about ketogenic diet. From the get-go, I would like to shout out to Dr. Fox. You are an amazing YouTuber. I recommend everyone to subscribe to his channel and watch his videos. You've got an amazing ability to provide your viewers with amazing content in a very nice and engaging way. And as always, I'm happy to have questions from you, and I'm absolutely delighted to do my best to answer them today. The very first question Dr. Fox asked was, how many people are using ketogenic diets? I love this question because it's truly scientific, and I'm a scientist and I will do my best to provide you with a good scientific answer. I must confess that I honestly thought that it would be a very easy question to tackle scientifically, but after several hours of searching the literature on this subject, I realized there is not much information on this topic. There are quite a few randomized controlled trials that are comparing regular diets, no diets, and low carbohydrate diets. The problem with these studies is that though these are randomized controlled trials, they do not randomly pick subjects for the trial. In order to answer your question, we would need a different type of study. Some sort of a survey that would survey a lot of people, number of respondents. We're talking about thousands, preferably tens of thousands of people who would answer some questions about their dietary habits. I was able to find several very good studies on nutrition which had hundreds of thousands of respondents involved, but unfortunately these studies did not report proper nutritional data. Unfortunately, these studies do not report the dietary intake of carbohydrates directly. For example, the biggest study I have found reported the data on quintiles of their respondents, meaning that they have reported that the lowest quintile, meaning the 20% of the population or sample that is consuming the least amount of carbohydrates, they consumed less than 40% of their total daily calories through carbohydrates. Unfortunately, there is little I can do with this data just because of the form this data are presented in. After several hours of searching for an appropriate article, I actually found one. It is an article by Blank and co-authors. It is based on a relatively large survey, 9,300 respondents, and the survey was conducted in 2002. The data were reported in 2006, and I will add the link to their study into the description for this video. The major finding was that 12.5% of respondents of the study stated that they have been using low carbohydrate diets at a certain point of their life, and 3.4%, that's the statistic we're looking for, were using low carbohydrate diets at the time of the survey. I think it's a very good statistic, it's a very good ballpark number that we can use in our future communications. At the same time, I would like to state that this study was relatively small by epidemiological standards, just 9,300 individuals. It was limited to one region in the United States, and most importantly, the study seemed to be outdated. The survey was conducted in 2002, right now it's 2018, so it's been 16 years, and in this past 16 years, the profile of people using different dietary approaches might have changed substantially. Nevertheless, I hope that this statistic is at least something that I can provide you with, and I will definitely keep my eyes open for future findings in terms of research on the prevalence of low carbohydrate diets. As a side note, I would like to say that though I'm a big proponent of low carbohydrate diets myself, I don't think that just restricting your carbohydrate is the answer to all our problems. I truly believe that if someone wants to lose weight, they have to restrict their calories, not just carbohydrates. But at the same time, following a well-designed, strict low-carbohydrate diet is a good way of losing weight and changing your hormonal balance in such a way that you can also build muscle. And that brings me to the next question, which is effectively, how can I build muscle while restricting my carbohydrate intake? We all know that carbohydrates are a very good source of quick energy for muscle building and physical performance. At the same time, I know of a lot of athletes who manage to achieve really great results in terms of their body transformation and their physical performance while following a ketogenic diet or a low carbohydrate diet. Carbohydrates are indeed a very good source of energy for our bodies, for our performance. But at the same time, if you are following a very strict low carbohydrate diet, your body switches to use of other sources of energy, such as fat and protein. Usually it takes a couple of weeks for all of our tissues to switch to different type of nutrition and different type of metabolism, the process that is called keto adaptation. After these 2 weeks, our bodies are completely adapted to the new nutritional pattern. If the goal is to lose or maintain weight, likely you'll be in caloric deficit. And this combination of being on a low carbohydrate and low calorie diet will likely lead to a change in hormonal balance. And as a lifter, you would definitely want your anabolic hormones to go up, which might be a little bit problematic because on a low carbohydrate diet you have minimal amounts of insulin, and insulin is one of the major anabolic hormones. Fortunately, carbohydrates are not the only macronutrient that raises our insulin. Protein does the same. So if you are following a low carbohydrate diet and you are severely restricting your carbohydrate intake, you can still have the same insulin response and its anabolic effects by consuming more protein. And protein will serve several functions. First of all, protein will be broken down into amino acids, which will be used to build your muscle. Second, some of these amino acids will be converted into glucose, which will be used by your specific organs, such as red blood cells, for energy. And the third, and the very important function, the protein intake will increase your insulin and accordingly its anabolic effects. So overall, if you're following a low carbohydrate diet and you don't just want to lose weight but you want to build muscle, my major suggestion will be to increase your protein intake. But if you really crave carbohydrates and really believe in their role in muscle building and want to incorporate into your nutrition, I would recommend using refeed days, which simply means that you will be consuming some limited amounts of carbohydrates at certain points. This carbohydrate intake should be paired strategically with the intense workouts. The core idea behind these refeed meals is that every time you work out, your body uses up its glycogen storages. So if you are consuming some small quantities of carbohydrate around the time of your workout, instead of converting the glucose into the fat, your body will use this glucose as energy directly, or it will use this glucose to replenish the glycogen storages after your workout. And at the same time, you'll have some insulin response and some anabolic effects of insulin. Having said that, I would like to mention that these refeeds, they can be detrimental. They might affect your state of ketosis, they can break completely your keto adaptation, and it might take you several more days, sometimes a couple of weeks, to return back to ketosis, back to fat burning, and so on. So use them very carefully and strategically. It's actually very easy to give in to the cravings to carbohydrates. And that brings us to the next question. How can we be on a low carbohydrate diet when all of my family is eating carbs and there are quite a few temptations around you? I must say that is the major problem of low carbohydrate eating in general. Every time I go to a conference, every time I have some sort of a business lunch, a business dinner, I'm exposed to huge quantities of carbohydrates. We spend a lot of time at work, a lot of time with our family, and if your family is not following the same low carbohydrate diet, it is very difficult to stick to your diet. And I've got a couple of solutions here too. One solution is very simple. If you really believe in a low carbohydrate living, if you believe that brings you a lot of benefits, I think it would be only fair to speak to your family members and convince them to do the same. At the same time, not everyone in your family might agree with this idea, and I don't think it would be really fair to deprive yourself, your family members, your children of some wonderful treats that they might enjoy. Personally, I love ice cream, I love nachos, I love burgers and fries. You mentioned fries. And it's very difficult if one of my family members is having one of these foods. Actually, my favorite dish is paella, and every single time I'm trying to go on a low-carb diet and I'm trying to be very serious about it, one of my family members tries to sabotage my progress by actually making it. But in the end of the day, I think it's important to set your priorities straight. What is more important to you at this point? losing weight or having some paella, losing weight or having some French fries. I think that the best solution is to stick to your diet for a certain period of time, set your goals straight, and achieve them. And after you have achieved your goals, you can start deviating from this diet. And the best solution or best recipe that I have is again to have the same refeed days. So the idea is pretty much the same. You achieve your goal, you're following your strict low carbohydrate diet, and at a certain point you start strategically introducing some carbohydrates around the time you work out. You can have your French fries before, during, after your workout, just making sure that the amount of carbohydrate that you take in kind of matches the amount of energy that you're going to lose during your workout and the amount of glycogen that you're going to burn. Again, I believe that these cheat days are amazing. They make me very happy when I have them, but at the same time, they have to be very infrequent, strategically paired with your workouts, otherwise they might have some detrimental effect on your diet. Having said that and having named all these wonderful foods, I would like to suggest something. One day, I'll be in Europe, I'll drop by your place and we'll have a nice live video stream. We'll have some Belgian waffles, we'll work out, we'll talk about nutrition, health, working out, and then we'll finish our stream with a nice portion of Belgian fries. That will be a blast. So, Dr. Fox, once again, thank you for these questions, and I hope that my answers were to your satisfaction. I hope to continue our collaboration, our exchange of opinions. Once again, I hope that one day we'll have this refeed day and we'll have a very nice live stream together. And that's it for today. In the end of the video, I would like to encourage everyone to check out the YouTube channel of Dr. Fox and of course the YouTube channel of another YouTuber who was asked the same questions by Dr. Fox, Dori. I'll add the links to their channels to this video. I wish you all the best. I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, ask your questions, make your comments. In several days I'm going to make a video on my personal body transformation. It will be the 3 months results video. So stay tuned and see you soon.